Hello, my loves. Welcome to Fairy Poppins Play, where we play with ideas, concepts, stuff, magic, relationships, really just what we want to. And I encourage you, I encourage you to seek whatever feels like home. And that's what I am cultivating here with myself. And in play is the secure, safe container for play and joy and connection. And part of play is understanding our yuck and our yum, our yes and our no. And to whatever degree, this space, what I'm doing, me, this format in this way is a yes, welcome, welcome home. And to whatever degree it's not, even if it's a not right now, or not like this, or not the way she speaks, or whatever, honor your no. That's so epic to know that and to feel it and to cultivate integrity by respecting it. So don't stick around for my sake. So whatever your yes or your no, I celebrate you in that. And today we're going to be playing magic. But rather than playing magic in the way that it is created with structures and rules, which I love to do, and there's a winner and a loser, and it's very fun. Or winners and losers. Today we're going to be playing with magic. We're going to be playing with magic in like a oracle tarot reading kind of way. I've done this a couple of times now, and I absolutely love it. And we're going to see how this feels for you. So, with the intention of what is necessary and kind and true for the definition of family being those that share a home, then you are my family. Welcome to my home. Welcome to this home. Although, ironically, this is not my home. I am Cat's. But welcome to my internet home. Welcome to this home. So whatever is necessary, kind, and true for the family in this home to learn, to feel, to do. Really? Okay. So we get to use, we get to play with. So my name is Claire Sophia. I am Fairy Poppins. And so fancy. Got this from my birthday from a lovely human in my home family. This is so fun. I'm so. We're going to take her out of her big sleeve so she can be a part of this experience. Alela, the artful provocateur. She's a fairy warlock. Okay, so what's fun about this is that you get to know that this is not what these cards were made for. And there's a fun rebellion in that for me. And especially right now as we're all getting comfortable with the idea that obeying laws as written, doing all of the things that we are told we should do, has been coming from a corrupt place. It's been coming from an authority that hasn't earned that authority through their self-proclaimed desire to serve. Has been through the desire to maintain their own well-being and their own power. And so we get to decide laws, rules, written and passed down by folks who have only their own interests at heart. Do we do what they tell us to do? And so it feels kind of fun coloring outside of the lines a little bit of what these magic cards are for. Okay. With the sleeves, mind you, and my little hands and fingers, this is particularly easy. Yeah, to shuffle. Oh, maybe I can't. Hey! Let the limitations limit themselves, not my own beliefs and thoughts. Yeah, you get this. All right. Cultivating that feeling of home that is necessary, kind, and true for any and all families watching, listening, to hear, to know, to understand right now, in this moment. Simple source. Okay, so we have, yeah, help us understand that one. We have the Mirror Mind Crown, forged in the Veilous Vel, swiped by a clever Merrow, and sold to a curious Kipkin. So there's something powerful. Interesting that these two cards came out together. Something powerful. Tool of there's something that allows us to, oh, it feels like the internet. Like there are, no, I think scoot closer. Sorry, it's really beautiful. You can look it up. It's called Your Mind Crown. Um, there's something rare and valuable, and um, and it seems like it's access, right? That this, the way that this artifact works is that when we wear it, when we engage with it, anywhere where others would experience abundance, we can experience abundance. I'm on TikTok for the first time, started just a few months ago, or not even that long. Yeah, maybe that long. Between 1 and 2 months. And I am just absolutely baffled by how much of adulting and being a human being I am learning in that space. And we got to cultivate our algorithms, but oh, I am learning so much. And this feels like that. It's like where others are multiplying themselves, we are getting to grow. Where others are growing themselves, we are getting to grow. And there are tools for that are valuable and that are in the hands of just your average Kithkin, just your average Joe, just your average being. And then this card is self-reflection. Some echoes remember every moment of their past lives and spend their existence contemplating past choices. This character looks, I mean, depressed, but like because of resentment and anger. He's got a giant spear that is resting, and he's a ghost. Some echoes remember every moment of their past lives and spend their existence contemplating past choices. There's like a positive side and a dark side to this resource, right? We can cycle in, we can reflect ourselves and our memories. And I was just going through old photographs today and cleaning out and realizing that some had been corrupted and didn't transfer correctly and are just gone. And that used to tear me up. That used to break me apart. But this is almost saying, like, the vibes in this are so different. One is shiny and growing and like the mundane growing into power through what is that polyamorous term, compersion, like through loving that others are loving on themselves, loving that others are experiencing love. And this is a guy on a throne with what would look like a lot of power and hierarchical prestige, who looks depressed and sad and angry and is just reliving self-reflection in the most negative form. It's not being self-inquisitive, it's being curious about ourselves. It's just ruminating on what we've done and how we've been. And it's expensive. This isn't expensive. 6 mana. Alright, help us understand this dichotomy, this balance, this relationship between these. Flamer gift. Flamer gift. It's hardly even a prank in Veilspell. It's just the way things work here. Yeah, this energy of playfulness through play. I didn't pay her this. It's just... yeah, I'm cringy sometimes, y'all. But it's play. It's just the way we do things here. She's a fairy wizard. And it looks like they are gifting wings to things. Like there's a tree that's just like upside down and zooming around with some legs and some wings. Yeah, there's something, yeah, totally normalized about play. There's such a difference when somebody plays a prank or says something goofy or humor, a sense of humor. Like when somebody is humorous, when there's that twinkle of love, of unconditional love or safety, or I see you, or the reason I see this in you is because it's also in me. Like when there's a kindred spirit to the joke, even if it stings a little, even if it hits something real, even if it calls you out a little bit, it's just different. Like I didn't feel insulted or bullied by my family in England when I went and saw them, even though everybody was picking at each other all the time. But there was love oozing out of every pore of those people. Love for each other, love for their home, love for themselves. And you could feel it. So when there's the underlying safety, the container of home and family, and we get to play around a little bit, and we get to play with self-inquiry and self-reflection in a way that doesn't cause harm and actually proliferates. We get to watch everybody else get played with and be okay and demonstrate resilience. There's a beautiful plains that came out with like a maze almost looking, like a maze or a labyrinth. and the hedges. Is there anything else to help us understand that? I mean, I have created a mechanism for self-inquiry that and exploring the unconscious. I get so excited when I talk about my special interests. That is a way to contain self-inquiry and self-reflection so that it doesn't end up this lost ghost just ruminating for hours and hours on end. You know, it's like there's a container for it. So like a labyrinth. I call it the labyrinth. After a lot of Jungian studies. 3 cards. Ooh, oh, I love that inner. Oh, oh, really? Okay. 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 So we have a gorgeous island. That's not an island. When we colloquially speak about being an island, we often mean that someone's alone. That island is not. It's in Mana in Magic, the Gathering, the game. Mana is. It's like in Avatar, The Last Airbender, like the elements that they're working with, or you know, the island simply means like a land connected to water, really. And so this island, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful integration of human construction and I mean, it looks like a water park, like nice and fancy and clean and not gross, and there's not pee in it. It's so beautiful. Oh, okay. Help us understand this because these are some big imagery. It goes here. Okay. Wow. Oh, oh. Okay. Positioning really makes a difference. Moving the body, moving things. One of my favorite nerd word moments is in understanding what manifestation actually means. It doesn't mean magically making things happen just by thinking them. It means manos, hands, and fiesta, party. So it's a party with your hands. It's doing stuff with your hands. You want to manifest? You gotta, sure, you can set an intention, and then you gotta do stuff. You gotta play. You gotta party. So we got cards to help understand this. So we've got the darks. We're so used to using the dark side as a pejorative, and I think there's racism in that. Everybody's like, why do you always make it racism? Well, because it's goes way, 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 way back. It's a mechanism for promoting capitalism and all of that. So we have this painful shadow side. Jungian term, still got some issues. We'll use it for now. We have this painful side of the experience, and we have growth and mechanisms for growth. if we've gone ghost mode, ghost king mode, where we are absolutely entombed entombed in our own narrative, in our own reality built off of past wounds. And there are parts of us that are entombed, and some of us are almost completely entombed or have been in the past. What will occur is a singularity rupture, which in tarot, which I don't know a lot of tarot, but I do know the Tower card, and that's what this is. Singularity rupture, wow, shiny and egoically dramatic and attractive, having just walked into a few myself recently, is destroys everything. This is a spell that destroys everything. It's expensive, it costs everything, and it destroys everything. Rejoice, for within Sakar, the final sacrifice, you will find passage to the next eternity. Full-on Kool-Aid vibes here, right? And we all know the capacity to burn it all down. Even if we've never done it, we know that off-ramp when we see it on the highway, that it's at least an option. And so, yeah, when we get so entombed in our self-reflection and the melancholy of that, the self-fulfilling prophecy of that, the only way out of it is destruction. We blow up the tomb, and we survive because we're a freaking ghost. Sometimes it's the worst part about a singularity rupture and a tower moment is that we survive it. Now we gotta clean up the mess and take responsibility and accountability for what we did, or build ourselves a new tomb, which is, oh, and so that's one way to get to this connected island in the center here. For those of us using this crown, this resource, I mean, it even looks like they're holding up a bunch of screens. For those of us who are proliferating ourselves through watching others proliferate themselves, through gaining the opportunity to see others do well, and amplifying that, sharing it, mirroring it, embodying it, giving credit where credit is due, is the charmed clothier, a fairy advisor. This stunning fairy. I mean, just haloed in white light with these big dark feathers and these massive moth wings, is darning a young man who looks like he's in pretty ragged clothing with this cloak. Like if you've ever played D&D or any RPGs where you just get like a really cool item that's both stylish and magical, protective, like this is royalty. You are being adorned in the clothing of one who has earned this. And this is earned by the Fae, by the way. The Fae have a totally different way of assessing value and benefit. It is about how connected you are to the elements, and also how free you are to be a sovereign creature in the world and to be flawed and goofy and strange and playful. And and there's this shamelessness that when harm is caused, harm is caused back, or when harm is caused, you don't get good things back, or when you give good and then you suddenly take it away, then you get pranked. Like there's just this natural consequence as a form of play, all with this light-hearted sense of just being part of this world. To be honored and advised by the Fae is a special honor. I got to use my fairy deck for my first Fairy Poppins Magic the Gathering Fae video. So I always trust my higher self and source to pick the decks. Because I don't know. Claire doesn't know. Sophia knows. Claire doesn't. Claire doesn't know shit. Okay, and we have two more cards that came out on top to kind of help balance again with these two energies. We have on the side of the singularity rupture and the self-reflection and this entombment of our own obsession with our past and our stories, we have the sapphire medallion. It's cheap. Not to say sapphires are, but card itself, the artifact itself is cheap, and it makes things easier, sort of, for a time. It makes things cheaper. Certain kinds of spells done in certain kinds of ways makes them cheaper. And that's, that's the ease, the in the moment gratification ease that we get from ruminating rather than inquiring, from cycling rather than from humbling. And so we get these little momentary eases until and we put off the little momentary difficulties until we get one big challenge, one big tower moment. On the other side, we have fairy formation, community, fairies out as far as the eye can see, flying over the land, over the water, creating more of each other, adding more to their abilities. The throng flitted from castle to castle, leaving a trail of star-crossed love, damaging rumors, and missing heirlooms in their wake. Let's go, Rebel Force! Y'all, we can use our mischief for good. We can use it in a way that grows our community, that lets our home reach harmony, and doesn't pretend like there aren't forces out there that are trying to harm us and have been for a very long time. And we don't have to hide from them. We don't have to shame ourselves or beat ourselves up for all of the ways in which we were either a part of that or were complicit or were numb or shut down. Of course we were. And accountability invites us to this opportunity to play, to do the work, to labyrinth ourselves through the maze of the plain and the ordinary. There is a function for play, mischievousness, rebellion within our world that is having a really hard time right now. Take it or leave it. Play with it if you want. Leave it if you don't. It's just play after all. Sending you lots and lots of love. I get to go into a class with a very powerful, wonderful Fae being here in a moment, which just, fairy advisor. So, for what is necessary, kind, and true for us all, thank you so much for being here, for playing, for doing what's right for you, for putting on your mirror mind crown. And I feel so grateful to get to do this again with you. And so go play with that if you want.